Hello, it's Rose.
Howdy, Barbara.
Wow, what a week. There was just craziness politically and regionally that I don't even want to talk about, and blah. Life is so stressful and so busy that we just need to talk about lots of good stuff to override all of the bullshit.
Well, overriding bullshit is a good thing.
Yes.
Let's try to do it.
I'm tired of bullshit.
The good news is by the time this airs, hopefully, we will be through some of the political BS.
Yeah.
And on our way to whatever the next chapter of political BS-ness is.
Yeah, I have a prediction that we are not going to know who the president is until the electoral college meets December 15th. I don't know why that was hard to say because I don't want to believe it, but I feel it.
I feel like if people have to wait 6 weeks for an answer, we will have a revolution before then. Some sort of revolt is happening. There is no way that the way everything is polarized right now, that it won't just explode.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's what they're banking on. Just saying.
I don't know. I guess as you guys are listening, you watch the news and see what's happening.
These are recorded 2 weeks ahead of time. Sometimes it's a week, but yeah, this one is 2 weeks, so who knows what's going to happen? There could be all kinds of craziness that happens between now and 2 weeks. Who knows?
Definitely could be. Maybe we'll just have to do an on-the-spot one.
Right. I don't know. So, what's going on with catfishing?
Well, let me just tell you, that brings up something I was thinking about over the weekend, actually a conversation with my daughter. Of course, I've been on this dating site and trying to find real live humans. After 6 weeks, I found 3 that were not fake individuals. No love connections by any stretch. But I'm not even looking for real humans on the site anymore. I am now fully engrossed in just catching these liars on the internet and saying ridiculous stuff to them. So my daughter says to me, so when you do find a guy, how are you going to explain your new hobby? And I'm like, oh, this is probably not going to be a hobby I can continue. Even though it's been hella entertaining. But so I started looking for new hobbies.
What did you find?
Well, there are lots of hobbies out there, and I'm not sure if I've found quite the right one, but one of them, of course, is noodling, which is catching fish with your bare hands. Usually, you're talking about catfish when you're doing that. So I may just take up real catfishing.
Wow. Well, that's what men like to put on their profile pictures that I click the X on or swipe whatever way is the bad way. But if there's a picture of a man holding a dead fish, that's a fuck no. So,
I've only actually seen one of those that had
they're all over. Maybe that's a trait of the catfish. Maybe they don't want to make themselves be aware, so they don't post the picture of the dead fish.
Mine seems to be golf clubs or, on a golf course. I get lots of those. So anyway, so catfishing and noodling, that
Can you explain noodling? I don't really understand.
I'm not sure why they call it noodling, but it's when you catch a fish with your bare hands. So, like, it shows people, usually in the South, wading around murky water near the shore, and they come up and they're holding a fish by the gills. Literally hands inside the gills. Yeah, you stick your hand or arm into crevices and stuff and try to catch something other than an alligator.
Right. That's very important.
So, not a huge fan of fishing in general. I mean, I used to fish back in the day, don't get me wrong. I like fishing. It's the hours in between the fish that I don't so much like. a little too much sitting. But yeah, so noodling is one of the hobbies that I found while I was looking.
I wonder, like, how do you get the catfish or fish to come up to you? Like, in your hip waders, do you put like worm juice all over the hip waders and get in the water?
I think you actually go and like try to find them where they are. I don't think they come to you. I think you go to them.
Okay.
I guess I did not research this enough. I did not know there would be so many questions.
I'm sorry. I will limit the follow-up questions.
All right, I'll just give you a look if I don't know and move on, okay? So another one that I'd come up with, though, is Quidditch. Of course, that's the game they play in Harry Potter. And I was not surprised, it seems like it'd be fun. But, you can't fly. So that is a huge element that is just gone from the game. But so I looked around and there are, teams and the best teams are actually, big surprise, based in Great Britain. But we actually have 6 teams in Ohio.
Wow.
They are college, youth, and high school teams. But even the Ohio State University has a Quidditch team.
I had no idea.
I didn't either. So we might have to check it out. Ooh, little side trip. So we were at the zoo over the weekend with the grandbabies and for the Halloween event. And there was adults there dressed up like folks from Harry Potter. And they made the train as their kids' stroller.
Oh,
this thing
cute.
had to be like 8 feet long. I don't know how they were pushing it, but it was flippin' adorable. So, okay, back on track now.
It's all Harry Potter related.
It's all Harry Potter related, but we were literally like, oh my God, look at that. And I would have talked to them if we were not standing in the line to take a train. The granddaughter talked me into the train, and we were stuck in the queue. So we could not go talk to them, but we watched them and talked about how cool it was as they walked by. So yeah, Quidditch is out there. Another sport that I found. I am a hockey fan. There is underwater hockey.
How on earth do you play underwater hockey? I would think the puck wouldn't go very far.
I don't know. And the sticks were like, 6-8 inches long. Basically, I think you need to be able to hold your breath for a long time and have hand-eye coordination.
That's not you.
Not me on either. So, not going to be mine. That, and I really don't want to put on a bathing suit and have people purposely looking at me. So, underwater hockey is probably not going to be one of the hobbies that I take up either. Going back to trains, there's train surfing. This is literally what it sounds like you're standing on the train surfing. Not huge in the United States, but I guess it's big in India. Who knew?
Who knew? I feel like when you first said that, I'm like, there are homeless people that get on trains, but this is totally different. This
hobos,
is dumbasses that just get up on top of trains, like Wile E. Coyote, and then smacks into the archway.
That would be my thought.
Yeah.
That would absolutely be my thought. So, not going to be train surfing.
Yeah, no.
I don't have a lot of balance either.
Start with a car before you do a train.
Well, I fell off a car and got 5 stitches in my head when I was younger. So probably not going to happen there either.
Okay.
So yeah, none of that. What else did I find? Element collecting. And at first I was like, that sounds kind of neat because, I like rocks and junk and, tend to come home with them in my pocket from time to time. But no, these are like the elements from the periodic table. Going and collecting all of the elements. Well, some of them are heavy elements. Some are poisonous. Some are fucking radioactive. Don't do it. Not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
No.
So is it only the solids? Like, how do you, I guess helium is readily available, but like there's some gases that you probably don't want to mess with. And what do you collect them in?
I don't know. A glass vial, I would imagine. And would you know any different if I told you, look, I have a vial of helium and argon, and you wouldn't know the difference. So
No.
I don't know. I went into it thinking that, like I said, that it's probably, rocks and whatnot, and didn't even think about all the other stuff you really don't want to touch.
Yeah, that's like geek level to the extreme.
Yeah. And not even just geek level. This is like, you need, hazmat suits kind of level. So
Yeah, no, thank you.
yeah, not something else that I'm going to do. But I did find something cool on the geological kind of spectrum, and I'm probably going to butcher the name of it. It's Hikaru Dorodongo.
Okay.
I think the Dorodongo part is right, but it's Japanese, and the literal translation is shiny dumpling. In short, it's dirt polishing.
Sweet.
So what you do is you take a ball of mud, you extract all the moisture from it, and then coat it with fine layers of soil. Eventually, it becomes hard enough that you can polish this ball of dirt. And at first, I thought this was probably the dumbest thing I've ever, not the dumbest, I've heard some really dumb stuff. I've done some really dumb stuff. But anyhow, so I got to looking at it and actually found examples on National Geographic. And they are shiny spheres of dirt, but it looks like the shiny rock spheres you would find at a, geological store or whatever. And they are really cool. And I saw lots of different examples, and they're different colors. And of course, they change based on where the soil is collected from. I think I might have to try it.
How interesting. I have two thoughts about this. The first thought is dung beetles do something very similar. They roll up their little poo mound and suck out the moisture from it. I don't know that they polish them in any way. But the second thought is more spiritual natured and wabi-sabi. So wabi-sabi is, I guess it started in the 1500s, and this emperor in Japan, or maybe he wasn't an emperor, some high-ranking dude in Japan didn't like the crude staples that was used to put pottery back together when it was broken. And so he used gold to put the pieces back together again. And it was to highlight the imperfections. And it's really beautiful. And the thought is, nothing is really damaged beyond repair, first of all. And the scars is what makes things beautiful, that you've learned something or been through something. And really, there is no perfection of anything. And these pieces, if you find them from that age, are like super expensive and worth a lot of money. And so there is a spiritual thing kind of with that as well, in the same kind of vein in Japan as your dirt rolling thing. The beauty in dirt as well.
Well, I have lots of scars. We did not fill them in with gold. I could be priceless by now, if so.
You are priceless.
Why, thank you. But did you know that they're going with your dung beetle comment, that there's actual beetle fighting?
No.
You can, I'm not sure what type of beetles they are, but yeah, there's little plastic arenas, and your beetles fight one another.
That bothers me just as much as I don't want to say cockfighting, but that's what it is. I want to say chicken because I know you're going to have some comments about cockfighting.
I just have a vision of two naked men sword fighting without a sword.
Yeah.
On guard.
Yeah, I don't kill bugs unless it's a June bug. I think we've already talked about that. So I would not like to see a beetle fight.
No, I don't really want to see a beetle fight either, but
that's weird. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
And what kind of person enjoys doing? Who thought that up?
when you're sitting around in your hazmat suit looking for your heavy elements, and all you're finding is, two dung beetles in the desert duking it out, it could be entertaining, I guess.
I'm having a flashback to that movie, Joe's Apartment, it's full of roaches. They didn't even fight each other. They were trying to chill out Joe.
And I used to think I was the one with the weird references in this relationship. So, now this is something that I thought this next one may be something that could be helpful to me. I'm a little flighty, have trouble, might have a little ADD. And I was told once that I was an unsuccessful squirrel herder by one of our tenants. Because I'm like, all over the place. So, did you know duck herding is a thing?
Oh.
Yeah. I can't get my ducks in a row, but maybe you just have to herd them into a group. So yeah, just like sheep, it's a competitive sport. And it's a corporate team building exercise becoming popular as a team building exercise. So, duck herding.
Okay, so I have a friend that just moved to New York and she bought this farm. And
road trip.
Yes, for sure. And she has been collecting fowl and poultry. And each week she posts pictures of her growing herd. Like, this has become an addiction for her. So I'm going to let her know. And if you're listening, Lori, this is a whole new side business for you. Invite people to your farm to herd your ducks.
Ooh, can I be part of the commercial chasing the ducks around? That would be great.
Do not get your ducks in a row.
That is awesome. Let's see. What else did I find? So there is... Now, this is something I think that you and I could take up. It's called news rating. Okay. So, when you've got the local news and they're standing out on the street corner with the breaking story that's what's going on behind you, and there's always some idiot in the background, like, scratching themselves or whatever. We could be those idiots.
Yes.
Not necessarily doing stuff like scratching ourselves, but it's actually becoming like I don't want to say a sport per se, but so you just try to get on as many newscasts as possible, just in the background shot, in a crowd shot or whatever. And there's actually a guy in the UK that has been in hundreds of broadcasts. And he wears the same signature beige sweater. His name is Paul Yarrow. So we'll have to look him up, maybe get some tips, and just start appearing in backgrounds of, the local news.
Yeah, it reminds me of the whole Baba Booey thing. It's catching on at a whole lot of things. And Hit Him with the Hind. It's also a Howard Stern reference. And so I don't think that a lot of people even know what Baba Booey is anymore, or Hit Him with the Hind.
I never heard that one.
Yeah, that one started a couple of years ago. It's about John Hind, but he really hates it. And it started out that he didn't like it. So then it caught on because Howard would, play them to piss him off.
Ah.
And so sportscasters would say, oh my God, he made that pass. And wow, he hit him with the hind. And it's just so bizarre. It's a weird reference and people don't know what it is, but it gets played on Howard Stern and it becomes a thing. So people just repeat and regurgitate, not knowing what they're saying. And especially in golf, it really pisses off those announcers.
Oh, yeah. You're supposed to whisper.
Baba Booey. Yeah. So secondarily, I think that we could get some things going. We need the little auction signs that, the little stick with our logo on it,
oh, there you go.
And then we photobomb people at the zoo. And whenever people are taking pictures, maybe at a wedding or something, we just go up and we hold our little logo.
Maybe a wedding is not the best place to say,
yes.
Bright Side of Crazy. Unless maybe we just stand behind like the mother of the bride and groom. Then it's okay. Then it's like, you were warned. Did you see the pictures?
Not the photographer, just snapshots every now and then. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Not the high dollar photographer. No, let the bride have her moment.
Okay.
Sure.
I was going to say, because that does not seem like you. Okay.
Yeah, just photobomb random people with the sign. We're very unassuming ladies. So like people would not notice us walking up behind somebody. And
that's true. But I have a feeling at least one of us is going to be like the whole damn time. No, I'll be the one like with the Mission Impossible music and standing behind the fake ficus until the right moment when I can jump out.
Yeah, that's how we need to do this. I got to make a sign. Okay.
All right. Well, I was thinking if we put it on the back of underwear, we can moon people. And that's a whole nother way to get our logo out there. Supersized logo. So yeah, I'm thinking about news writing. That seems fun. Some of the other ones are just things that I don't necessarily think that I'm into, but there are people out there doing it. Suing people.
Yeah, that's a thing for sure.
Right. It's actually listed as a hobby. I am not a litigious kind of person. I don't want to sue anybody. But people actually do that like a sport. And there is a guy that actually holds the world record for suing hundreds of people. And I'm not going to list his name because, you're a jerk. But yeah, it happens enough that it's in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Wow.
Yeah. So to all you people out there suing people for no damn reason, stop it. But you gave me something to talk about for 30 seconds. So you can stop it now. Tree shaping. So I like trees. Mm-hmm. I like touching, manipulating, hanging out with trees. And I like the things that come from tree shaping. However, I don't have the most patience. This is where you take a tree, like a bonsai, you're trimming that one. Or there's ones where you shape it into actual furniture. So you manipulate the way the tree grows. Some are simple spirals, for landscaping purposes. But some of these you can actually grow things into chairs or tables. And then when it's done growing, you cut it down and boop, there it is. Takes a lot of time and patience, and I can see where I would grow a whole lot of walking sticks. I'd get like the first couple swirls in, and then I'd get bored, and I'd be out herding the ducks. And then, I kind of forgot about that. It's just a stick now. So,
a couple of years ago, there was, and I can't even remember what shape it was or what fruit or vegetable it was, but there was a man who would put these form molds over some fruit or vegetable and make it be a shape, an odd shape, like, I don't know, a house or something. Or yeah. And so he wasn't manipulating the DNA of whatever food it was, but it was growing into this mold. And it was like very strange, but interesting at the same time. So
I never saw anything about that, but I remember a few years ago, I think it was a watermelon. They were growing into like a squared off kind of shape so that they're easier for transport. They kind of looked like milk gallons, if you will, kind of a rounded square. And they'd actually ship them in crates so that I guess that's probably what they did. I have no idea how they did that, but that's probably something like what you're talking about with the mold.
Yeah. So weird.
It's weird. But it seemed like a good idea. I mean, there's a whole lot of wasted space when you're shipping things like watermelon or pumpkin or those big round things. So I can see where that makes sense. Let's see, what else did I come up with? There is geocaching. So that's where it's kind of like a treasure hunt. You find something or you place something. You mark its location. Other people find it, and they usually go to a website or a hashtag. Sometimes there'll be boxes, like a treasure box, and you just add a trinket to it. I've done this in the past where I've found things. We've added to the box, returned it, and, but that's something that's fun here and there, but I don't know that it's a major hobby. I mean, I guess you could make it that, but kind of not necessarily what I want to do.
So there was this show, The Expedition Unknown, and it was on a couple years ago, but I didn't see it when it was originally on. And the dude on the show is talking about this book, The Secret, and not the book, The Secret, that I got hooked into. It was The Secret in the 80s. And it was this man who put treasures all over the United States. And this book, The Secret, had pictures, and I don't remember how many there were, but in each picture, there was clues about what city and where it is. And the book had poems or sonnets or something like that. And it didn't necessarily, like if the picture was on this page, the sonnet was on the next page. The two didn't go together necessarily. You had to match them up.
Oh my goodness.
And then go find it. And I think only 5 or 6 have been found. And like there's so much out there. The guy who wrote this has passed away, but the artist who made the artwork is still alive, and he knows where the others are, and he is not telling a soul. But if you find one of these, the daughters still have the money that you can get from these. And they're like, he didn't believe that it would be this hard to find. He wanted to make it challenging, but not impossible. And so they're kind of amazed that they're not found. But the last episode that I saw in that series, I think it was in Milwaukee. I don't know. Some baseball field is where it was. And it was being dug up. And the construction people found it with this Expedition Unknown guy. Oh, okay. He located it there through the help of a family who was looking for it. And this little girl found a piece, and like it was so exciting. Aww. She's like, oh, here it is. So like there is a book out there right now with, a puzzle that some of them are still not found. And I think it was $100,000 that you got if you found one of them. So,
wow. Well, now that changes things. No, I mean, this whole idea of treasure hunt, and that's fun. Mm-hmm. And I guess I didn't think about it like that. It is kind of like a treasure hunt. Mm-hmm. But I think in the geocaching sense, it's more about the finding the item than what the item is. Mm-hmm. So it's just the art of the exploration or of the hiding. Mm-hmm. So you made me think about it differently. Mm. But so maybe we'll have to, I know we've talked about painting rocks and things like that. Yeah. Maybe we need to do more than just place them. Maybe we need to have special ones like an Easter egg hunt. Yes. A bright side of crazy hunt. You have to mark that down. That's the market noise. We'll have to add that one to the definition list too. So let's see. What else did I find? While we're out in the woods, some of the things you can do are there's foraging, which is simply living off the land and, what twigs, sticks, berries, and bugs you can eat, different flowers you can use. And now that's something that I've been interested in because, I'm kind of a dirt worshipping, tree hugging hippie chick. But also, I really like, kind of stuff that I can know what it is.
So I have something to say about that because I don't know. Like if I were out in the woods, I would eat something poisonous for sure because I don't know shit. So somebody that stayed with me a little while ago, she said, if a bee can eat it, it's safe for humans. So if you pay attention to where the bees land, that's safe to eat. And that made sense to me.
Yeah, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I mean, like right now, we're not going to see bees. If we're out there in the middle of the winter, we're just stuck.
Yeah, you're stuck. Well, don't go outside in the winter.
I am one that I will often see things and I'm the, I wonder if that tastes good kind of person. And like when we saw those grapes growing at that geological park we went to, they look like real grapes. Mm-hmm. And I thought, I should probably taste one and see if they're real grapes. And then this aha moment, like, you should probably not eat something just growing in the wild. So I think learning about foraging would be a good thing, whether we forage or not, especially, if shit goes down with the election and, we have to, Armageddon comes and we've got to live out for the land, maybe I need to learn this.
There's still time in 2020 for a zombie apocalypse, I'm just saying. It's possible.
Everything's possible this year. And you know what? By the time you listen to this, it's a whole new month. So who knows what kind of crap is happening in November. But then the other thing would be survivalist prepping. Mm-hmm. I never really thought about it as a hobby, but I do know several preppers. And what I've learned from the preppers that I do know, some of them are all about telling you all about how they're prepping and what they're doing. And this is what you need to do. And, your different water purification things, and they will tell you absolutely everything you need to know and what you should be doing. And then there's other ones that are super covert, again. And I know one gentleman who, I'm sure he's told his wife now, but we've been friends for several years, and he was telling me about how he's having, an underground bunker built, and he wasn't even telling everybody where it is. And, him and this other buddy know when shit goes down, they just bug out and, go to their spot. But he's I have no idea where his spot is. He's that secretive about it. And so, I've said to him, like, if shit goes down, can I come? And he's like, I'll tell you where it is then. And it's been a year or two now, probably 2 years since we talked about it. But at that point, his then-to-be wife did not know where it was.
Whoa.
Like he said, there was a spot where she was to go to get picked up, basically.
All right.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure now that they're married and she knows. But at the time, he was that secretive about his spot. So
the only thing that I know about prepping is fish mocks that you can get online. Amazon's not selling it anymore because some people caught on to this. Fish mocks is the same as amoxicillin. It's even made by the same pharmacy company.
Oh, okay.
And so you can get amoxicillin over the counter as fish mocks. It's exactly the same. So if you're going to prep, fish mocks.
Now, one of the tips that my secretive prepper buddy had told me is, what things you can use for bartering. And, of course, he said alcohol is good for bartering and medicines. So, in 2017, when I was having all my health issues and was in and out of the hospital quite a bit, they had changed up my antibiotics several times, as they were trying to figure out what would and would not kill what I had going on. None of them was the answer. Anyhow, so he had told me, to hold on to your medicine. So to this day, I have a bag of all my antibiotics in the refrigerator because he says keep them in the fridge. But just in case, I've got antibiotics in case crap goes down and, I need something to barter with or need my own medicine. So that is a tip that he had told me. So of course I keep all medicines anyway, just because, I paid for that stuff. And, but yeah, so I have those in a separate place though, not just in my medicine cabinet. Those are in the fridge in a opaque bag. Mm-hmm. So foraging and survival prep might be something that I get into. Just a little bit on the survival prep, but
yeah,
I do always try to make sure that I have a stocked pantry. So again, in case stuff goes down, we can make it for a while. Something on the list of, hey, Barb ain't never going to do this is parkour.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Parkour!
No.
So I like the idea of parkour. That is where you basically try to get from point A to point B without touching the ground. It's like the floor is lava for adults. So I love the idea. I love watching people that can do parkour. Yes. And then I'm like, oh, I can totally do that. And then like I'm 3 inches off the ground hitting the wall. Like, that didn't work.
I never for a second say I could do that.
But you look at it and you're like, oh, they're like step, jump here and rappel off of that. And yeah, no, that's just me running into a wall. So it looks fun. It looks like it would be great exercise. Mm-hmm. It looks like I would get hurt. So parkour is not something I'm going to be doing. Then this one's completely surprised me as a hobby. Power washing.
What?
That is where you take pressurized water and clean things. That's a job.
That is a job.
Not a hobby. Unless it's your hobby and you like to do it for free, then, hit me up, Barbara at Bright Side of Crazy. I have some stuff you can power wash. But if you think it's a hobby, I'm not paying you for it because you're having fun. I've paid people to power wash before. Yeah, power washing was actually listed as a hobby. I thought that was an odd one. But here's one that I think is up our alley. Hunting for mythological creatures.
That's so awesome. There was something in Michigan, and I don't remember how to say the name of that whatever invented creature.
I don't remember which one is in Michigan.
Michigan, the guy invented this whole other world.
The different dimension. Yeah. That's right. No, I don't remember
whatever.
That one.
So
that was a little high brain for me. It took me a while to even figure out what that was about. But yeah, so people go looking for Bigfoot, Mothman, Chupacabra. So I get sucked into TV shows, and Chupacabra, this is before I took a trip to Mexico. So I felt I needed to know what I was up against in Mexico. And it was on, I think, the Discovery Channel. And I thought that it was just going to be an hour episode. It was an hour episode. And then it would show a commercial for the next episode. And it kept baiting you along like they're going to catch this thing. 4 hours into it, they did catch it. And it ended up being a fucking dog with mange. Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Assholes.
Which reminds me, did Mr. Hamilton catch the Bigfoot yet?
No, I don't think so.
Was it Bobby Hamilton?
Ricky Bobby.
That's all I can remember, and I know that's not his real name. Mr. Hamilton. The Mr. part is loosely done. But so people travel around looking for these mythological creatures. So, we could go to Scotland and look for Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster.
A leprechaun. So, do you remember early 2000s, maybe late 90s, there was this guy who said he was on the news saying that he saw a leprechaun and they made a rap video with him?
No.
Oh my God, that was the funniest thing ever. I will have to find that. But he it was an African-American man, and he really believed that he saw maybe he did see a leprechaun. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, it was all over the internet. So I will have to dig that up and post that because it was some funny shit.
Well, I have a picture of a rainbow ending at the roof of my house. I assure you there was no pot of gold. There was no leprechaun inside my house. I looked.
Okay.
Just bugs and crickets. So then I think I did find another one that may be up our alley, and it is called toy voyaging.
What is that?
So it's when you take your beloved toy and you send it on a vacation. You pay for your toy to go somewhere without you and have an adventure without you.
Okay. We will foster any toys. We're about to leave. Well, this won't air before we leave on Thursday, but we'll have many more adventures, and we would be happy to take your toy with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so you'll have to send it to my business, Rose Life Coaching, 77 East Wilson Bridge Road, Suite 110, Worthington, Ohio, 43085. Give us all the information. We don't know what adventure it will be. You just have to blindly trust us, and we will give your toy a freaking adventure.
Well, I don't know if we've discussed Gawker on here yet. Do we want to discuss Gawker on here yet? Let's just put it this way. There is a toy that travels with us already.
Yeah.
On every adventure, and is photographed quite often. Whether you can see him or not, he is usually there. So it is not out of the norm for us to travel with a toy. I have no problem showing off said toy or interacting with a toy.
It's got to be small enough. Like, I don't want somebody's live sex doll. Like, we're not doing that. Like, there's got to be limits.
Yeah, we might have to draw the line there. Well, I mean, that would be on the fans only page, though.
I still got to make that. I don't know what I'm going to do.
So that's a whole different kind of toy. I almost felt the need to say not a battery-operated toy. But now that we just went there with the sex dolls, we'll take that kind of toy, too. But we're touching it with gloves.
And we're not paying the shipping back.
But then also, so some of these sound like, people are taking pictures, they're completing a journal, like everything like a real vacation for this toy. So I'm guessing if the fee is appropriate, if you want to...
We can get paid for this too?
Oh, yeah. This is like a thing. People, I guess, take this very seriously and fork out some serious dough.
Holy crap.
So, well, when I initially started looking at, when you hear the stories about like people's, the concrete geese would go missing off their porch and then...
Or the gnomes, yeah.
Yeah, or gnomes. Mm-hmm. And they'll come back like, a month later and they've got a photo album and they've got a different outfit or whatever. So initially I thought it was like that kind of thing. And there was a pig in our neighborhood, a small pig that was in someone's flower box, and that my daughter and I kept joking we were going to take this pig and do that with it someday. But I'm the type of person that I'd be the one getting caught, loading this pig into my car because I thought it would be funny. And so we never did it. And then the pig's gone missing. I don't know if someone took it or they just got rid of it. But I still am like, think all the time, like I totally missed the opportunity on that pig because that would have been funny. We had all these adventures planned for this pig, but didn't want to get caught stealing someone's item, which we really weren't going to steal. I just thought it would be funny. So yeah, toy voyaging.
That is so interesting.
Yeah. So they won't hear it in time to get it on our train ride, but thinking about going to the Christmas Story House in December. Not a definite yet. If you want, your toy to get to see where Ralphie almost shot his eye out. Just saying. Now's your time.
Now's your opportunity. Send it to us. We won't charge you at this time. You're getting in early.
Right.
Beta testing.
There you go. So yeah, I think that may be one of the new hobbies.
I would dig that so much.
So we'll play with your toys. Take them down, have some fun. Send you pictures. So yeah.
I love that.
So we're going to be foraging in the woods.
With
toys. You can take your toy with us. We're just going to try to do all these couple things simultaneously. So while I'm foraging for what we can eat in the woods, we'll also be scooping up dirt so that I can polish it. If we find an element that is not radioactive or whatever, then I can say, hey, we were element collecting as well. But But you know what? We could take a toy with us. We could geocache your toy for you, and we'll see when it comes back. We can combine a couple of these hobbies.
And watch out for the chupacabras.
Right.
Along the way.
Or, have a picture taken with your toy and Bigfoot.
Sweet.
So, just so you know, I've got all kinds of stuff planned for us.
I love that. I love adventure.
Well, good.
Adventures with toys. That sounded bad. Hold on. Whoa there.
I've been very careful in this whole thing as to how I said that.
Whoa there. Okay.
So, one of our adventures, do you remember our first trip to Maryland? Rose, myself, and another one of our friends went to Maryland for a concert. And this is what I had in mind every time I mentioned a toy. I had taken my personal trimmer with me, and this is not the new big dog one I have, but just the little one, for getting, the mustache hairs that us older ladies get. And I had gone into the bathroom to take care of, taking off my makeup, brushing my teeth. And when I brought my bag back in, I set it in the closet. It had fallen over and hit the button on the battery operated trimmer, and it fell between my suitcase and the wall. And so it was going up against the wall and sounded like I had something with D batteries going in there. And thank God Rose had already seen my trimmer earlier in the day, so I didn't have to explain it too much. But it was embarrassing, to say the least. And our travel companion was a male, and so he kind of looked over, and I'm like, it's a trimmer, really? It's just a hair trimmer. And then I had to bring it out and show everybody. So, no, I'm not bringing a vibrator on our trip. So I had that in mind the entire time. So I was trying to be careful not to say anything like that. But I just told the story anyways.
There you go.
The joys of traveling with me.
Yes. And so on that trip, we went to the Exorcist stairs. What an adventure for your toy. Come on. So I have a picture of myself laying at the bottom of the Exorcist stairs, and the travel companion, while was an excellent photographer, was not really thrilled the entire time of us going up and down the stairs taking stupid pictures.
Well, and in hindsight, we did that first. We went to Washington, D.C., and it's just out. Those stairs are just outside D.C. in Georgetown, and they are quite steep. But we wanted to make sure that we saw them because we were on a very tight schedule. So we went there first and then proceeded to run up and down and up and down and up and down this like double or triple flight of stairs, taking all these pictures. And then we're freaking exhausted. And then proceeded to walk another 10 miles in Washington, D.C. that day. So if you ever decide to see the Exorcist stairs, one, you can actually get to them from the bottom. You can drive right up to the gas station at the bottom of the hill, which we, of course, did not discover until we had gone down the flight of stairs several times. But also plan ahead. Those stairs take some energy for sure.
And there are joggers who jog up and down those stairs early in the morning, and they are not thrilled with shenanigans on the stairs.
Yes, there were several of them not thrilled with us. But then we spent quite a bit of time there because it takes a while to go up those stairs. Yeah. So we had to wait till there was no one else on them. So we spent way too much time just trying to take this picture of Rose laying on the ground. We had so much fun in Maryland.
So please send your toys to us. They are guaranteed to have a great time.
Oh, absolutely. They may not even ever leave the same room, but they'll have a blast.
So I am so glad that it was all bright side because things are just heavy.
They are. There's a lot of just blah going on out there in the world today. And so trying to find something bright.
Wabi-sabi.
Kimo-sabi.
So if you guys can think of other hobbies that we do not know about, share them with us.
Keep
Hello?
Keep Barbara out of trouble.
Well, that's relative.
Or give me some new trouble to get into. Either way. New is good.
Yeah. But our address, email us at hello@brightsideofcrazy or rose@brightsideofcrazy.com.
Or Barbara at brightsideofcrazy.com.
And make sure you're hitting all the buttons and like and subscribe and rate and say good stuff about us everywhere.
Invite your friends.
Photobomb our logo everywhere. Look for us on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We've got some TikToking to do for sure.
Not to get you addicted, but there's some stuff going down on TikTok.
We'll have to get into that for sure.
So that is it for today. I'm glad that there is so much joy to over-encompass all the other bullshit. So shine bright, my little peeps.
Bye. Until next time.
Bye.